The girls just in the holding area, just about to come out. Singapore led by a former liaison officer for the Hong Kong team, Samantha To Ming Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen,
special relationship with Hong Kong, has played in Hong Kong on a number of occasions, so special mention for her. And it's been magnificent to see the improvement, I should say, over the last 2 or 3 years of the Sri Lankan women's team. Wasn't played openly and regularly on the circuit a number of years ago, but their performance over the first day was fantastic. They acquitted themselves well, and I think it'll be a good matchup here. They've got some great athletes. It's that team cohesion that I suppose they're lacking a little bit with the inexperience, but we expect to see a very closely fought plate semi-final for the women's event. Always difficult early on day 2, particularly having played in the temperatures of day 1 at 34 degrees and that's some 95% humidity at the Hong Kong Football Club yesterday. Always a difficult one. Good protocols, recovery protocols probably adhered to by all the teams overnight, but we'll see players deplete very quickly in this heat again on day 2. So Sri Lanka to kick off, and a great high kick, putting the Singaporean team under pressure early on. So first attacking opportunity if they can secure possession of the line out for Sri Lanka. Just on the edge of the Singapore 22. It was an area of the game yesterday that the Sri Lankans got right, and this is a commentator's nightmare, so hopefully I'm going to see a nice clean line-out possession, and there he goes. So poor control at the line-out, but they've managed to get away with it. Knock on by the Singaporean team. So scrum down just on the edge of the Singapore 22. And another attacking opportunity for the Sri Lankan team. Nice little use of a kick pass under pressure. Freeing up a couple of Sri Lankans, doing great handoff by number 8. Makashmi, and what a lovely try, and hoping to get in under the post and giving every opportunity to conversion. Great start by Sri Lanka, 2 opportunities to attack off the edge of the 22, and a great try by Sadiki Himakapmu. Hoping to secure the extra 2 points. And very successful, huge in the women's game to get those 7 points play, and conversion by Darusiki. So Sri Lanka to kick off. Great start by them. We're only 2 minutes into the game, early score, and showing how well they played against some of the top teams in this tournament yesterday. So Dasuki to kick off, deep into the 22. Samantha Lee setting up the contact area. Early ball out, but huge pressure from the Sri Lankans. High tackle, so a little bit of pressure relief for quick tap on the edge of the 22. Again, lovely contact area, taking up, just drawing the Sri Lankan defence in. Good distribution skills by. And tackle situation, again, people thinking it possibly offside, tackle situation, intercepted. And then just not showing enough composure on the ball, having turned it over. So giving the opportunity for Sri Lanka to gain possession, Singapore to gain possession. Again early in this game, 3 minutes in. And scrum down just on the edge of their own 10-metre line. And an opportunity for Singapore to build an attacking platform. Lots of instruction coming from down on the touchline from both sets of coaching teams. So clean possession. great pressure again, having a huge influence on this game already. The Singapore number 10, sorry, the Sri Lankan number 10, Rusiki. But again, Singapore turning the ball over on the first opportunity and now creating a bit of space. The pressure that the Sri Lankans are putting the Singaporean team under is enormous, and again that pressure's turned into a penalty for them, so again they'll have an opportunity. Just need to show a little bit more composure on the ball. The Sri Lankans, they have the firepower, the pace, the strength, and the penalty again. I think that's the third or fourth penalty given in the first 4 minutes of this game by the Singaporean team, so a little bit of indiscipline in the contact area creeping into their game. But I think it's down to the pressure that the Sri Lankans are putting them under. Again, out to their rangy runners, this is their strength, and a lovely offloading the tackle out to number 6, Wikram Sua, who was the try scorer in the first 2 minutes of this game. Great pressure. It's more like it by the Sri Lankans, but just at the last minute unable to control the ball and convert the pressure that they've put this Singapore team under. I think they've spent the majority of the first, if not all the first 5 minutes of this game in the Singapore half, and only getting the one score as a reward. So scrum down in a very pressurised situation for the Singapore team. It's worth just mentioning that the women's Asian series now goes to 2 legs. It goes to Beijing later in the year. It's fantastic that the game is growing enormously within the women's sector. In Asian rugby, we have 8 quality teams this year to start the series. I think more will join as the series moves on, but we were struggling in Asia to field a competitive 4 teams just 2 or 3 years ago. So it's a testament to ARFU and the hard work that the Asian Rugby Football Union have put in with these unions to develop the women's game. And we're seeing an increase in the quality at the top end of the game, the performance quality. And these two teams are a great advert for that. So it's a scrum down, two of a mess, but refs there, and the try has been awarded significantly again under the post. So and a half time in this women's plate.
Control tower, the white box opposite the score.
playing. Now cycling and running and bringing up a young family, which often makes the weight drop off you. So lovely to see Pete here with his family. So here we go, start of the second half. Singapore to kick off and all to play for, 12-point game. Singapore deep into the Sri Lankan 22. Oh, and what a great run, what a great break there by number 5, Piera, but then unfortunately losing a little bit of momentum with a poor pass. And now Singapore putting Sri Lanka back under pressure on the edge of their 22. Lots of contact area pressure at the moment and lots of ball being turned over in this game. Number 4, great. Dorosiki, try scorer in the first half, making a lovely break offload into number 5, Piera, and she's going to go all the way. The girl that made the break not 2 minutes ago has made up for it, and again, I'm not going to say a 7-point play anymore, but a try scored under the posts for Sri Lanka, taking them out to a 17-0 lead with the conversion to come. We've got a 7-point play, taking the score out to, I'm looking at the stadium score, but taking it out to 19-0 to Sri Lanka. Conversion successful by our consistent kicker, Dorosiki. And Dorosiki to kick off, having just put the conversion over. Change of tactics, a shorter kick. Easier possession gain for Singapore. Great tackle, great pressure again by the Sri Lankans. This has been the key to their performance so far. Not allowing Singapore to settle on the ball, putting hits in, turning the ball over, and really pinning the Singaporean team deep into their own half for much of this game so far. Again, Singapore working hard, 3 or 4 contact areas, trying to get out of their own half. Maybe a light bit of relief here. Penalty given away at the contact area by Sri Lanka. Singapore, early possession, quick tap and go. Again, good tackle by Sri Lanka, just showing us how well they played yesterday against some of the top teams in this competition. Again, for the first time in the game, I think, entry by Singapore into the Sri Lankan half. But again, a mistake, a little knock on and scrum down. Sri Lanka ball. I think again, as we saw, as I was talking to Mike earlier on commentary, you see a depletion in performance levels in the men's game as we move into the last 5 minutes of these games at the Hong Kong Football Club. It's early morning, but the temperatures are still up over 30 degrees already with the high humidity, so for viewers looking in, it looks perfect conditions, but I can assure you that these mistakes are not due to anything other than fatigue kicking in, and difficult handling conditions as well, with the humidity creating wet ball, wet hands, almost like playing in a fine drizzle. So it's important that people understand the difficult conditions here at the Hong Kong Football Club. Early possession again, huge influence over this game at the moment. Number 4, Dorosiki from Sri Lanka, making a break. Unfortunately, her support players going off their feet at the contact area, sealing off, as the referee has indicated. So again, possession back to Singapore. Possession is going back and forth, it's lacking a little bit of continuity. And there we go, and Fatigue's kicking in a lovely break by number 12, Chang from Singapore, and she's gone all the way. What a fine try. And now we're starting to see a little bit of fatigue, and it's the first time that Singapore in this game have put anything in terms of consistency and continuity together, and it's opened up a little bit of space for Chan to go 40 metres in the score, bringing the score back to 19-5 in Sri Lankan's favour. We are 4 minutes into second half, so 3 minutes left on the clock. Not sure whether we have enough time for Singapore to turn this scoreline round. 3 early tries in this game, 2 in the first half, 1 early in the second half by Sri Lanka. That's probably put them in the driving seat for the last 3 minutes. Singapore would be keen to get back to the halfway. Number 5, Joe, wanting to get the game going. His fellow guys, particularly the guys involved in our last play, struggling to get back onside. Fine kick deep into the Sri Lankan half, but giving them only possession. Needs control, and that's the control they're lacking. Unfortunately for them, a little bit of lack of composure. And what a fine break again, fantastic. Again, the try scorer of the previous try early in the second half has gone 60 centimetres. Pereira, again a brace of tries in this semi-final, and she's been had a huge influence over the outcome of this second half. So again, a fine run, 70 metres under the posts. And number 4, the kicker, who's converted the previous 3 of the previous tries, 2 of the previous tries, Del Rasiki, to add the extra 2 points. Lanka safely through to a final. Lovely hands, just haven't played the game in the right areas for them. They've had to play deep in their own half, and that's down to the pressure and the intensity that Sri Lanka have brought to this game. And Sri Lanka again putting them under pressure at the contact area, creating a mistake, little knock on there in the contact area by Singapore, turnover ball, and we should see now Sri Lanka take the last 30 seconds off the clock at this scrum and move comfortably into the final of the plate later in the day. So scrum sets with just 20 seconds left on the play clock. Just about to hear the buzzer. Oh, penalty, I think pushing before the ball or not, steady scrum. So we're going to have a little bit more defending to do by the Sri Lankan team. Singapore looking for a consolation score at the end of this game. Oh, lovely offload. There's the buzzer. This is the last play of the game. Oh, and they show some lovely continuity skills now. Unfortunately for them, all too late. Again, some great cover. Sri Lanka are not prepared to allow them to score, but that's a great ball on the short side. And a fine consolation try to finish the game for Singapore by number 7, Yu Hee Lo. A lovely way to finish the semi-final. So trying to add the extra 2 points now. Difficult conversion from out wide. Buzzer's gone, so as we move to the end, the last final action in the game at the Hong Kong Football Club. Singapore ladies versus Sri Lanka ladies. Conversion comes up short. As we move forward to the next semi-final, Singapore 10, Sri Lanka 26, and Sri Lanka move forward into the women's plate final later today or later this afternoon at the Hong Kong Football Club. Join us in 2 or 3 minutes time for the second plate semi-final, the Philippines versus Thailand.